Hello from beautiful British Columbia, Canada, and today I'm going to share something with you. A few years ago, I was going through a very difficult period in my life, and in a moment of quiet desperation, I decided to register for a 6-week meditation course to help me cope with some of the anxiety and some of the emotions that I was experiencing. After that, I was eager to learn more, so I also registered for a 2-day silent meditation retreat. And the things that I learned from the course and from the retreat have had such a profound impact on my life. And these are things I want to share with you today. Now, as a disclaimer, I am not a meditation guru or expert, and it's also not in my philosophy to do things in a way that feels strict or extreme, so I'm just going to encourage you to do what feels good. And I love the yogi who taught our course because he shared a very similar philosophy. He was always just encouraging us to do our best because essentially he didn't want to scare us away from all of the benefits of mindfulness and meditation. Now, also keep in mind that I'm packing 6 weeks of information into 3 very short videos. So I'm also going to encourage you to take the time after each video to really relish in the moments. I've also split it up into 3 videos to give you the opportunity to practice each of the steps before you delve into learning some new ones. Now, in case you're wondering, the type of meditation that I learned is called Vipassana meditation. Vipassana just means insight or awareness or mindfulness, but I'll explain this more as we get into it. For now, just enjoy it as the guided meditation that it is. I hope that you find this as useful as I did to learn. Now let's get started. All right, so begin by finding a comfortable seat. Some yogis say it matters how you cross your legs, but because we're beginners, let's just find any seat that feels comfortable and that puts you at ease. Place your hands either on your knees or in your lap, whichever you prefer. I like to place one hand on top of the other, palms facing upward in my lap, with the thumbs touching, aligned with my nose. But again, we're beginners, so just do what feels good. If you have some kind of injury, do what you need to do to find support. This might mean propping up your back, sitting in a chair, supporting your knees with a pillow, or keeping your legs straight. Ultimately, you know what feels best for your body. And if you have no injuries, try to find a seated, upright, cross-legged position that feels most comfortable. Once you find a comfortable seat, you want to sit up straight, but you also don't want to forcefully elongate. That just doesn't feel natural and you'll get tired very quickly. You also want to make sure you're not rounding through your neck, so just press your chin back a little bit. And now close your eyes and find some calm. Once you've found a grounding position, we'll aim to hold it. So through the meditation process, we don't want to fidget or move. This can be the hardest part, but it gets easier with practice. Now, if you're new to meditation, you may find that after a few minutes, your leg might go numb, fall asleep, or start to tingle. Ideally, you want to ride this feeling out, but if you really can't and you feel you need to move, we'll cover the techniques on how to go about doing this in a mindful way in the 3rd video of this series. For now, just find a comfortable seat and hand positioning and hold it. Finally, tune in to the sensations. It all comes down to the breath. Take a moment to tune into your natural breathing rhythm. You don't need to take longer inhales or more forceful exhales. Just breathe as you normally would, in and out through your nose into your belly. Now, usually when we're unconscious of the breath, we breathe into the chest, which is more often how one breathes when in the fight or flight response. Breathing into the belly sends relaxation signals to the mind and mimics the breath when we are at rest, like when we're sleeping. Have you ever watched a baby breathing? The belly visibly rises and falls. Breathing into the belly also helps to gently massage the internal organs and helps us become more aware of the sensations in the abdomen. The beauty of Vipassana is that it allows for moment-to-moment investigation of the mind-body process through a calm, open, and compassionate awareness. We learn to observe our experience from a place of spacious stillness, which enables us to experience clarity and insight into the nature of who we are. So now we become aware of the breath. When breathing in, you feel that your abdomen is rising, and when you exhale, you feel your abdomen is dropping. Now all I want you to do is label this breathing. So as you inhale, you say silently to yourself in your mind, rising, rising, rising. And as you exhale, you say silently to yourself in your mind, falling, falling, falling. Simply describing the rising and falling motion of the belly as it happens. So you continue, rising, 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 and falling, falling, falling. Remember I said that it always comes down to the breath. So if your mind has wandered for a little bit and you become aware of it, simply bring that awareness back to the breath, continuously labeling it. Rising, 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 falling, falling, falling. All right, so I'm gonna pause it there so we have a brief moment to recap. In this video, we've really just learned the basics, which is essentially to find a comfortable seat and to remember to always return to the breath, labeling it as the abdomen rises and as it falls. Pretty simple, right? But now the question is, what do you do if certain sensations or emotions arise, or if certain thoughts enter into the mind while you're meditating? This is something we're going to dive into in the next video, so stay tuned for that one. All right, I'm gonna sign off now as my teacher always did by saying metta, always. Metta just means in loving kindness and directing well wishes towards other people. So we're gonna say it together now. Are you ready? Metta, always.